Today is October the 21st, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show. 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show that shares the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today we have a service hero that has a truly inspiring story and attitude. She is on a mission, and you will be too by the time we're done with this hour together. Carey Conley is someone that I personally have nominated as a service hero. We were invited to be on a summit together, a summit that talked about relationships, a lot about couples, a lot about this, a lot about that. And they also talked about stories that were possibly had some challenges. However, those challenges were turned around to help and inspire others. And we were both there and we both heard each other's stories. And so I wanted to know more. And as I learned more, I became more and more inspired by this service hero. So I want to welcome you, Kerry, for today's show.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. So very honored.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And we have some people already showing up, and I want to recognize them. We have our first ambassador of the chat, Helene Wilson. So good to see you here. We have Mikey Adam Cohen. Mikey, love you. Glad you're here. And they all chat with each other. I have to let you know. We have one of our buddies here. I love her. One of our volunteers for the Tour of Love coming up, Sherry McQueen. So grateful that you're here with us. And Helene is saying hello.
Hello, everybody. How fun is this?
It's we have a party every day that we have a show. It is a lot of fun. And I have someone else via technology that has something to share, and I'm going to share that now, and then we are going to get going. However, here you go.
My mom, Carey Conley, is a hero. Even through her own life's tragedies, she continues to selfishly seek out people that she can help with her God-given purpose. She guides them through creating their vision for their life with the intent that they will feel hope, that they will feel joy, and that they will wake up every day feeling encouraged. You inspire me, Mom. You are my hero, and I'm so proud of everything that you are doing, and I know that you have served so many and are going to serve so many more. Love you so much.
I know it caught me too when I got it from her. Your beautiful daughter, Laurel. You, on your profile, you have this beautiful picture of the two of you that when you hear the story, any mother and daughter would love to have that image together. And that image is just one of love and so much more. And knowing the story, it is so much more. How did it feel to have her saying to the world that she's so proud of you and that you serve selflessly with everything you've been through, and you're helping so many more through their lives?
Well, actually, we're in this together, she and I. It's not me serving, it's us doing it together because we've been through our tragedies together. So I feel the same way about her.
I love it. In fact, you wrote a book together. Keep looking up. Keep looking up.
Yes.
And that's not, we were on a relationship summit, and we were both in an area of kind of like, and then there are, and there we were. And when I heard that you were a widow, I thought, oh, what a wonderful point of view we'll be able to hear. And then when you start telling your story, the tears, just kept coming and coming and coming, because your story is absolutely one that is compelling. And then the way you're handling it, like I was saying before we went live, is so inspiring. And why don't we go into it? You have images that here 8 years ago, hard to put into words how this picture makes me feel with our whole tribe today, 8 years ago. And then I have here one that, the four of you, there's your daughter, there's you, there's your son, and there's your husband. It's you and your daughter now, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. We lost my husband in July of 2014 to suicide. And then 3 years later, my son also to suicide. He was 25. So, and now my daughter is 26 and got married 2 years ago and just had a baby in May. So,
yes.
Yeah. So a whole new life for us.
Yes, and here we are. There they are, and look at those smiles, and look at that the little one there. Now, little boy, a little girl.
It's a boy.
A little boy.
So little.
I'm sorry, what?
He's not so little. Very big boy. I was taking. I don't know how old he was there. Maybe 2 months. Yes, he's much bigger now.
Well, they grow. They do.
Yeah.
They do. And I want to recognize as many more coming in. Cinnamon, so happy that you're here with us. Carol Brown Berzins is one of our producers, and she is always checking to make sure that we are live and the sound is good on the E360 TV platform. And for those of you that do not know, we do stream throughout the world to 80,000 or 80 million screens, and so you can catch this show either live or on demand through the E360 app, E360 TV app. So you wrote a book together, and it was to help those that need to overcome so many things. And you have one of the things that I keep seeing in all the studying that, because I've been so fascinated in the way that you are out there helping so many people, and you have a vision, and you are about vision.
Right.
You're about overcoming fear, and then we're going to go into it a little bit in a little later into what it is that the message you really want to take out there. Yet let's really go into it, because you're here on your website. It says empowering women with hope so they supernaturally thrive in every area. And look at that smile.
Well, not just women. I end up obviously working with a lot of women because I am one, but I've also coached men and families. And I've mentioned to you that I am super passionate about wanting to work with some young adults right now, because they more than ever need to have a vision for their own life. And most of them don't. If you ask them, what they see 3 years down the road, which is what I do with people, I ask them to project 3 years out so that we can write a vision and then reverse engineer it. They literally can look at me and say, I don't even know what I'm doing for the next 3 months. So it leads them to feeling very lost, feel like they're drifting, really questioning what they're doing every day. They've been brought up in a culture, Tamara, that leads them down a path of, getting good grades, getting the right school, getting the right job. And so they do all that. and then get out in the world. And about a year out, they're looking around going, wow, this is what I've been preparing my whole life for. This is, and not really knowing what to do about that because nobody ever told them they could create their life to be whatever they want. And now more than ever, especially this year, they need to be told that no matter what is going on in their personal life or in the world, that they can create their life to be whatever they want. So that's the mission.
And I told you I had a couple surprises. I have one other, and this is
now.
Yeah, no, don't be nervous. This is all good. This is all good. I want to, in your own words, and then we'll actually then go on. You did something so beautiful just recently, and I want to share that, and then we'll continue this discussion after this little clip.
I just feel compelled about this time every week to hop in here and talk to you guys live about something that's been on my heart for you. It's also been something that I've been speaking on, which if you follow me, you know I do a lot of that. And it's also conversations that I have every week with all my clients. So I want to share with you some thoughts on how you can, one, discern what fear really is, and two, how do you really spinally crush it? Because I am on a mission to help all of you start following a more vision-filled, purposeful life. And I'm going to start with you because if I can help you get there, I'm hoping that you can be a source of inspiration for the young adults and the youth in our life and all those people we want to inspire to go after their own dreams, right? Starts with us. Now more than ever in this world, we've got to be courageous and we've got to step all in so that they will do it too. I actually recorded a talk last week pitching for a TEDx, which I hope to hear from, and I'll let you know about that. And I titled it, If You Quit, Your Kids Quit. And the reason I did that was because I just need everybody to realize how important it is right now, especially in a world where, again, we can't look outside there and see really those heroes that we're looking for. Starts with us, right? So we need to become courageous. And how do we do that? And I want to let you know right now that if any of what I'm about to say resonates with you, you needed to hear this message today, why don't you drop the word vision in the comments and let me know that this helped you today, all right? So let's talk about fear and what it really is. There's really two kinds of fear. There's fear of something that is very, very real, that if you follow through with it, you're going to put yourself in some sort of a harmful or dangerous situation, or maybe harmful or dangerous for somebody else. So that's pretty black and white, right? We know what some of those things can be. The other fear is really kind of 99% of the fear we deal with all day long, which is perceived fear. And it's the fear that is literally imprisoning us from going after that vision and that dream and that calling that we know we're supposed to go after. So once we discern that most of the fear we are feeling is not going to put us or anybody else in physical danger, that means that we have the choice to bust through that fear so that we can get to the other side where the big, beautiful dream and vision of everything you want in your life and more is there.
I love that. Bust through it. I mean, I see the Kool-Aid guy coming through, like bust through it.
So, yeah, I feel like this is your life.
There's a little bit of it, it's
funny. Yeah, I go live a lot on Facebook and on Instagram. And that's just been the biggest goal with my team and I this year, was that I was going to be a lot more present on a regular basis, more consistent. And so, yeah, I usually just speak from my heart. And a lot of times the messages that I share are because I've been having the same conversations with my clients, right? So they give me the inspiration of what to go on and talk about because I know what they're struggling with. And so if they're struggling with it, so is probably everybody else.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you, Kerry, for the special message. Absolutely, I agree. And Cinnamon here says, you have a beautiful, giving, selfless heart. Thank you for joining us today.
So much. It's so sweet.
And I love the explanation of fear, because we need to understand, yes, real fear is real fear. If it's danger, I love the fact, hey, if it's real, then it's real, and do something about that, because you need to get out of a dangerous situation. Fear can be the warning signal, right?
Right. Yes.
However, perceived fear, 99%. Whoa.
Yeah. It's, and we all can agree with that.
Yeah.
We all know that we are feeling fear about doing something that we really want to do because of so many reasons: self-doubt, lack of support, worrying that we're going to try something and fail, which there is no such word really. It really always comes down to doubt. People just have so many seeds of doubt in their head around following that true purpose for them. And unfortunately, again, we don't have a culture that really is raising up little humans right now to figure out what that purpose is and encourage them to go after it. So when they are on a path that they don't know how they got on, like I talked about a minute ago, they doubt that dream, that wish of them wanting to do something different because they've been told something completely different their whole life. So what they feel is real. That fear is real. Also, the feeling is real. The problem is they're not going to put themselves in any danger, right? There's nothing wrong with trying something, and if it doesn't work out, you try it again. And I have been in situations where I've made some decisions with my life on career choices and paths that I didn't have a lot of support. As a matter of fact, people thought I was crazy when I first became an entrepreneur. So, but when we have that really, really crystal clear, strong vision, which is what I help people write, it becomes that thing, that anchor that will help get them through the fear every single day.
Go ahead.
That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. That is the key to unlocking that future, right? And so I love the whole end in mind, and the visualization. I've done that before. It really does help when you really drill it down, where you can taste it, smell it, feel it.
Yes.
You wake up in the morning, you know what that looks like. And it could be 3 years, 5 years out, whatever it is. And every cell in your soul feels that experience. And then that intention of, working it back. What do I need to do to get there? What are the concrete steps that I need to be taking to get to that end in mind, right?
Yes, correct. Because we all talk about goals, right? Especially this time of year. Now we're winding down a year and people are starting to think, can I really still do what I had set my mind to do this year? Most people have already quit. And I'll just wake up on January 1 and reset my goals. And then the same thing happens again next year. And the reason that happens is because they're setting goals that are not anchored in something bigger. Mm-hmm. So when life happens, the little daily things that happen that push us off track, and then the big things that happen, is we drift. So, and we forget all about the goal. Didn't matter anyway, right? So what I get people to do, and the reason I do this, Tamara, is because I was encouraged when I was 26 years old. I was working full time. I just come out of college a couple of years before that, and this was the 80s, so everybody went into the corporate world, worked our way up the ladder, right? I did not do that well. And every 2 years I was changing jobs, trying to find the right job. And finally, my first mentor said to me, you are never going to fit this 9-to-5 mold. You need to sit down in a quiet space and write on paper in great detail in every area of your life what you want your life to look like. And so because I did that, and the ripple effect began for me, I now know, and I've taught this now to thousands of people, that writing that out that day was me getting very, very still and listening to my own heart and my own purpose. Mm-hmm. And when people get lined up with their purpose, it's really hard to quit.
Yeah.
Right? So what I've told everybody is, when people have asked me, how did you build 2 businesses with all the stuff, raising my kids, traveling husband, and then of course, everything I've been through lately? And my answer is always, because my vision and my purpose is bigger than whatever obstacle I'm facing right now.
Right.
That's
right. I do want to recognize Cinnamon and many of my buddies that I'm stage 4 now and will be starting interferon November the 1st. I am feeling scared and uncertain about it all. And we've got one of our other buddies here, Cinnamon, here for you, hun. And then private message me. This is what I love about my community and the community of those that care for each other. And we really can be there for each other in all of these different phases of our lives, because we, life, like you said, life happens, and it can be a diagnosis, and it can be a call, it can be like what has happened in your family. It can be a variety of things that can take us off track. However, with that said, and and we do have miracles taking place. Miracles taking place. And Robert, so glad to see you here with us, my dear. And that when you are given, quote unquote, some words, a diagnosis, a test result, doesn't have to then be a life sentence one way or another. And that is the beauty of the understanding that we have now in our world today. You can say what you want about 2020, but 2020 is, if you look at it for vision, and that's your word, vision, the 2020 vision is that anything in all things are possible if we believe them. Isn't that what you teach?
Yes. And I just want to reach out to all these people who are just taking care of each other. It's so amazing. And especially you, Cinnamon, I want to really encourage you now more than ever to write out a vision as if it's 3 years from now of what you see and dream your life to look like, right? Because that vision is going to be the hope and the anchor that's going to get you through all the really tough days, knowing, like Tamara just said, that this is not a life sentence, that you will get past this. So much of what my daughter and I have been through, even on our worst days, we are able to remind each other that this is just a day, right? We're working on bigger and better things. And that's what gets her and I through every day, with some of the challenges we still face. So, I just really encourage people to, no matter what your circumstances are right now, it can always get better.
Absolutely. I am going to share a clip because we have this amazing community that has shown up. And I told Kerry that we may do it if it was so inspired. And it's so appropriate right now. So what is it all about that this community is sharing right this minute? Well, let's see. I'm going to share.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
It's so amazing. Very, very touching. That's
Thank you.
Awesome.
And you're seeing it right here, that they're all there for each other and for you. They're rallying around you, around Cinnamon, which absolutely, we love you, Cinnamon. And Robert, just so happy that you're here with us to share the community. Yes, well, Robert, we all have shared so much in this journey we call life. And when you can find that community, when you can find those people that you are there with and that love you and are sharing the vision, you're welcome. The vision and I love that vision, dream, calling. Your vision, your dream, your calling. You're seeing that here with the comments in this community. And I'm sure it has, that you are witnessing it with all the people that you work with, because I know you have a huge following, a whole community also that are there together. And it makes a difference, like with your daughter sharing the words in the very beginning of the show. And I'm sure if I was to have called on anyone that is in the community with you, that they would be saying the very same thing. And isn't that what we want to be finding in this 2020 vision that we're all looking for? We're looking for that vision of 3 years from now, yet the here and today is the gift and a present too. And how do you balance that? When you're looking at all of that and you're coaching your tribe, if you will, how do you balance all of that together?
Well, I think a lot of times people shy away from thinking about writing their vision. Well, they shy away from it for so many reasons, but I think one of the reasons is that they feel that if they're looking too far in the future, they can't be in the present. And I think also, I talked about this on Facebook Live a couple weeks ago, because I read something somewhere that one of the greatest sources of anxiety is when people look into the future too much. And the answer to that is because most people, when they're looking into the future, see the doom and gloom and all the negative. So it's a choice. And that's why I get people to write a big, beautiful vision of what they want in their hearts, their life to look like, because then that becomes hope and a source of peace, not anxiety, right? And what it also does at that moment, like we've talked about a couple times already, Tamara, is that now we can take the 3-year vision and I can help them break it into, all right, now let's set some concrete, achievable, doable, baby step goals so that you can stay consistent and present in it every single day, right? It doesn't have to be hard work and it doesn't have to be a lot of hours. As a matter of fact, when you really get good at this, you get to work a lot less and excel faster, right? Because my vision becomes the gate for me of all the decisions that I make. So every day I'm presented with opportunities to speak, opportunities to coach, opportunities and places to be, the network, the whole thing. So when I make all those decisions, I always look at my vision and say, this either lines up with where I'm going and who I am and what I do, or it doesn't. So I'm really intentional and very present in every hour of my day, pretty much.
I love that. I love that. And the clarity of it in regards to, and when you were talking about, when we shared the clip of one of your more recent Facebook Lives, you were talking about how we, as the adult generation, let's say, as the adults, need to be the example for that next generation, our next generation, because our next generation, there's some warning signals, aren't there? And we need to be calling out the warning signals right now, the here and now, like, okay, guys, be present right now, please. Because in what we're going to talk about right now is like, you want this message to get out there so much that you were willing to put it out there for a TEDx talk. That's serious stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the message that I've been talking about and the application, my video that I put in to apply for this TEDx, I haven't yet to hear about it because I just did this on Friday, is the message was very simple. If we quit, our kids quit. So And why I say that is, as I was raising my kids and I was in my first business, there were so many days I wanted to quit, like any business and anything, days we think, what am I doing? So, but what kept me going is that I knew that if I quit, my kids always were watching what I was doing. And if I quit, I was essentially giving them the license to eventually quit on something later on in their life too, when it got hard. So on the days that I really struggled through it, I thought of them and I thought, you know what, I can't show them that. So what I've been calling out the older adults on lately is how much I see them, and it breaks my heart, see them giving up on their own dreams right now. It's too late. I'm too old. I don't need it anyway. I'm good. My bills are paid. I have a roof over my head. It doesn't matter that I didn't do that thing that I always dreamed I would do. It's okay. I'm just going to focus now on helping my kids get their dreams accomplished. But what you don't know is when you're telling them, look, just get through all the adversities, keep going, don't stop, but they see that you've given up, it's a mixed message. And now more than ever, they need a hero because they're not finding it out here in this world, right? They're looking to us. So when I have people tell me, I can't do it, I'm too scared, it's too late, whatever, I tell them, but you have people who are watching you. Think about that, right? I'll be a part of TEDx in Vail. Oh, I'm from Colorado. That's awesome. I would love to.
And where Robert's from? Phoenix, Scottsdale area.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Fountain Hills. That's great. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate the connection. So I just want to encourage you all that if you've given up on yourself and it's gotten really hard and you've got days that you just can't deal, you need to think about what an influence and an impact you are making on somebody else. And I know at the end of the day, as humans, we all have one common denominator. And the common denominator is that we all want to know that we mattered while we were here and that we helped somebody and made a difference. And the way you do that is you take care of you first.
And that's not always the easiest thing to do.
No, that's why most people don't. It's easier to quit. We have a world that tells you it's good to be comfortable, right?
Well, I wasn't thinking about the quitting piece. I was thinking about the taking care of yourself piece. Oh, because we hear what possibly what needs to be done. Because I know that's one of the things I struggle with. The quitting thing, not so much. The taking care, however, because there's a balance there. We have to be able to find a fine balance. If you don't quit and it gets tough, then that's why I love what you were talking about with the gate and that it gets easier. And that's something that really makes a lot of sense, because then if you figure out how to make it easier, and so then nothing is really going to be that easy. However, you're going to have the formula for the success and be able to do it in an effective amount of time, I would think, is what you're talking about. Yeah. And so then that allows for the time, right, to do the self-care, to take the time for meditation, to take the time for exercise and proper amount of sleep and good nutrition and all those things that we need to be doing so that we have the long-term ability to keep it going, to not then give up, right?
Right. Yes. So here's the thing. Most people are doing a lot of the right things. Super busy. Most of them can show me really packed calendars with all the things that look really, really good, right? Taking care of others, having phone conversations with people when people ask, they can show me all the things. But at the end of the day, they don't feel like they're really getting anywhere. Especially, I end up coaching a lot of entrepreneurs, Tamara, and I said this at a women's luncheon one day. It came right out of my mouth. And the way it affected all the women in the room, I knew I needed to keep it. What I see most female entrepreneurs specifically in general, I shouldn't generalize like that, but they're running really expensive hobbies. They're super, super busy, but not making any money. So they're getting really frustrated. They're getting totally burned out. They aren't seeing their families. Their families are getting frustrated with them. They aren't taking care of themselves. They aren't being able to finance things like they wanted to. As a matter of fact, they're going in debt sometimes. So you see what I'm saying is that without the vision and the game plan and being really intentional with every hour of your day, you can be doing a lot of things that look really good, but they're not the best thing.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. I had this discussion yesterday or the day before, just recently, with a very, very good friend of mine that is just doing amazing things. And the discussion that we had was, it really took me back to my roots when I was running a desk. You know, I was a recruiter, you know, so that's a self-employed person. Any which way you look at it, you have to be effective with every single activity that you do. And I did the old-fashioned way. It was called a Morgan planner. You block everything in and out times, you know, everything, tick marks, the whole deal. That was my training. And so as we're talking about it, and here I'm building a nonprofit now, and it just put it right between the eyes. It was like, okay, so are you doing that now?
Right.
I'm like, okay, that was good. That was good. Not to that extent. And so I started reworking even my, you know, kind of like going back to the roots. What are we doing? How are we doing it? What is the most important? What can we delegate? What are those things that we can do? Because one of the other things he said was, right now we have an opportunity, because of the way that the world is, the cost of money, the low percentage rates, everything is in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it as being an alignment for having the most successful situation that you could ever dream of. Most successful.
Sure.
And you know, some people would say, well, yeah, right, we're right in the middle of a pandemic. We're in what was it? I was holding for the internet company because I had some issues this morning with it. And I'm on the phone waiting, and they're like, during this national emergency, and I'm thinking, oh, well, let's just be putting that out there, looping it, you know, over and over and over. And I'm thinking, I don't want to be listening to the loop. I don't want to be listening to that. I'd rather be looking at the facts.
Right.
And so I would love to know what you, as the coach, the business coach, the someone that is all about vision, what are you seeing right now with all of the indicators as we're going into the fourth quarter of 2020?
It doesn't matter what year or what we're going through. It's always a matter of perspective. It's all that we have. Mm-hmm. It's always all we have. It's always choosing to see the opportunity in the adversity. Because what I've learned, and I've been hanging around some really cool people, especially the past 5 years of my life when I started really speaking and coaching, there's very successful people, very sought after. They give a lot to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. They always see the opportunity in whatever's going on. And if you follow any millionaire or billionaire in the world, you're going to find that most of them came from some pretty horrific, tragic backgrounds.
Right.
The only difference between them and other people who've been through similar things that have not succeeded is that they chose to look for the opportunity in the adversity and not see it as something that is outside of their control. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So with the people that I speak to, and especially the ones I coach, I'm always reminding them that it's your choice to create whatever you want it to create. And so instead of seeing and looking around and going, you know, nobody's going to buy a house right now. You know, you've got two thoughts of a realtor, right? Who's going to buy a house right now in a pandemic? Nobody's going to buy a house right now. Well, one of my very best friends is the #1 realtor in Denver, Colorado. And that woman has like 25 contracts going right now. And I'm not.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, right? I know. Yeah.
Because she doesn't see what everybody else wants to choose as the excuse of why she can't do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So again, with the indicators of this year, I'm just going to tell you, it's always going to be something.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And that was one of the things why I connected with when we were on the summit together. Mm-hmm. I loved the way that you presented things because yes, the reality of it is the reality of it. And that's what it's just like when you were talking about fear. Fear, the real danger. Danger is danger, and that fear can be a warning. Yet that's 1% of the time, basically. 99% of the time it's perceived. It is something we can overcome in getting that clarity and getting and a mind shift, overcoming that fear mindset. The words, our words, the power, something as simple as our words. I don't know about you, but I grew up in one of those kind of homes that if we said a naughty word, we had to give up a quarter, and so you didn't want to say naughty words because you didn't want to be giving up those quarters because you didn't make we worked for any of those quarters. And so, it's like, okay, I don't want to be doing that. So yeah, watch that potty mouth stuff, love it. Thank you, Helene. Thank you. And I'm learning to put myself first and staying consistent with posts and affirmations every morning. That is another thing that you've been talking about in that whole, because I love that movie. I'm a big movie buff, and I love the movie that talks about baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Bob Murray's in it, and and he has a goldfish in a mason jar around his neck, and he's reminding himself, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Right. And he ends up on national news. He ends up on all this stuff. It's like just getting outside of your comfort zone and just taking those baby steps. Like you said, breaking through to that other side, to that big, beautiful, beautiful life that is waiting for us.
Right.
Crushing the fear.
Well, here's the thing. I heard I follow so many people, read so many books. And I heard something on a podcast last week, and it so resonated with me that I've repeated it now multiple times. I believe it's Dr. Shefali. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's a psychologist. It's been on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday forever. I've got a new crush on her because she's truly the one right now that's talking about how we need to raise up our little humans totally differently than what we've been doing, right? Mm-hmm. But what she said was, if you are feeling it, if it's something that's in your heart and it's there and it's tapping at you all day long, it's because it's already there waiting for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's not you have to go create it. It's not that it's something that it's impossible. It's just a dream. How are you going to make it? It's there because it's already there. And this is, talking more spiritually now and how law of attraction works and how vibration works, right? Yeah. I've studied that a lot the past 2 years. And it was so enlightening to me because it's so true. So everybody's feeling that. Everybody feels that little tapping. It's that thing they wake up and they kind of think about it and they kind of dream about it throughout the day. They go to sleep thinking about it, but they don't do anything about the tapping. And I'm here to tell you, it's never going to go away. And the saddest thing for me, Tamara, is when people die with regret. Yeah. You have that tapping because God sent you, the universe sent you, whatever you want to call it, here with that purpose. And it's already there.
Absolutely. It is so true. And yes, you do, Carol. You are always helping people and our community. And we have, I can't even say enough about the people that are here participating right now. I know so many of their stories, your story, so many that are out there right now that will be hashtag live, hashtag replay. Right now, like you said, many people are feeling it, and many people are feeling it because there is a vibrational energy for those that are willing to open themselves up to it, and that really, truly, all things are possible. And as I am constantly also reminding myself and others remind myself, and then I remind others, it's that what comes around goes around thing, is that, yes, it already is. And just put the intention out there, ask the universe, and expect the miracles because the miracles are there waiting to happen.
Right.
And in truth, they already have if we just allow. And I love that message. I am now also a new fan and crushing also, because truthfully, we need to be raising up our little humans to understand the power that this life that is ours here, we are sharing with them, that it is anything and everything they choose for it to be, and we don't need to put them in those little boxes.
Correct. Yes. It will fix a lot of the epidemics we have going on right now. I'm a big believer in there's so many reasons for depression and suicide and mental illness. So many.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I really am honing in on is the fact that we are not allowing people to develop into their authentic self. Yes. And they drift and they feel it. And if they suffer with any sort of malady like that, it's harder for them to get through life, especially the one we're going through right now. Staying on the positive side and seeing why they matter. And I really am on a mission. I'm going to track down this Dr. Shefali, by the way, and talk to her, because I totally believe in everything she's talking about, and it's heavy stuff. She talks a lot about how parents bring children into this world and unknowingly, unintentionally strap a whole lot of baggage onto our kids because we aren't fixed ourselves. And that's why I keep going back to, yes, I want to help young adults, but why I really want to keep talking to people is why you need to follow your own purpose is because of that. In order to help them, we have to help ourselves first.
Absolutely. Can I just absolutely concur with that? Because I will say this, is that even in my own situation with my own adult kids now, they see what I'm doing with the nonprofit.
Right.
They are so absolutely coming around now 3 years later, where they know, okay, she hasn't given up yet. She's in it. She's in it to stay. And so they are like my biggest fans, which means so much to me, because in the very beginning, I let them know, hey, I'm feeling called to do this. I won't be around as much. However, that we had a real reason in our family for it, because we want to cut those cords, change those generational patterns, and be able to bring in healthy habits. And so that we can overcome many of these things like disease, depression, suicidal thoughts, all of it. We can start turning it around and healing from it by having that energy out there.
Right.
I know that you've got another commitment at the top of the hour, and I want to give you an opportunity to leave another nugget, because I know that you already, through the clip, were able to share with us a nugget. However, you have so many of them, I know. What would you like to leave us with before you have to go on to your next meeting?
Well, again, thank you for having me here, Tamara. And I think the thing I'd like to leave you with is maybe even a gift, if I can share it with everybody.
Absolutely.
I used to do all day, one day vision workshops I call Vision is Victory. And I take people from why you need to have a vision, what it fixes, which is pretty much just about everything, how to write the vision on paper like you've never done before, how to uncover where you're getting stuck up here and what to do with that, and then how to break down your vision into baby step goals. So I want to gift your audience with being able to see the first hour of that recorded day where I talk about the why and how to write the vision, because I really want to leave everybody with this. Write your vision on paper and write it with some dates, and be very detailed and very big and very bold. And no matter what your circumstances are right now, and no matter what's going on in the world, you can follow that dream that's tapping at your heart. Mm-hmm. So how you get that gift is you can just text the word guide, all in caps, to 26786.
26786.
Yep.
Okay. So if someone wants to put that in there, guide in all caps, and then it's 26786.
Correct.
I would appreciate it. I want to say thank you for being here and sharing your story. It truly is. You are truly an inspiring woman, and your daughter Laurel is also.
Yeah.
What a beautiful soul. And what I'd like to do before we end is play her message to you again, if that's okay, because of the fact that so many people did not get to see it that are here right now. It is truly beautiful.
My mom, Carey Conley, is a hero. Even through her own life's tragedies, she continues to selfishly seek out people that she can help with her God-given purpose. She guides them through creating their vision for their life with the intent that they will feel hope, that they will feel joy, and that they will wake up every day feeling encouraged. You inspire me, Mom. You are my hero, and I'm so proud of everything that you are doing, and I know that you have served so many and are going to serve so many more. Love you so much.
I couldn't say it any more beautiful than those words. I hope you feel honored today, Carey Connolly, for the amazing woman that you are, the inspiration of hope and vision and a generation to come that is going to be those little ones coming up and being healthy through the connections and the examples of us adults that are leading by a loving heart, purpose-driven life. And I want to say thank you for being with us today.
Well, I am beyond honored, Tamara. Thank you so very much. And I hope that this helps your listeners today. That is my only wish. So thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, we will be back on Friday at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern. Until then, I'll see you.
Bye, everyone.